Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a particularly exciting match from the BWC Battle.net World Championship, the tournament I mentioned in my last video approximately a week ago. Why has it been so long? Because of this tournament. I had been looking for good replays on Ghost Gamers for the longest time, wanting to cast some world-class epic games for you guys. A lot of them were lesser-known players and some weekly cups. There hadn't been much material, but the month of November, especially these last couple weeks of it, are going to have insane tournaments and have already had this one insane tournament, the BWC. This is from the group stage, Liquid HerO versus EG Stephano, game 3 of their second set against each other. To my knowledge, HerO was able to take the first set 2-0 over Stephano. The group stage worked much like the GSL, where there's two initial matches. 4 players are paired up with each other in matches of 2 initially. The winner of each match play each other. The winners play each other in the winners match. The losers of each match play each other in the losers match. And then the final match is consisted of the loser of the winners match and the winner of the losers match. While the winner of the winners match automatically advances, the loser of the losers match is out. If that made any sense to you guys, just replay it. Maybe you want me to talk slower. I do understand. Stephano, a monster, one of the best foreigners out there. HerO, definitely a strong Protoss player. Some people call him, I have a personal nickname for him called the Letdown Protoss. Sometimes he'll make it deep into a tournament. He has the ability, but he'll just let everybody down and let himself down right when it matters most. He needs to find that ability to deliver in the clutch. I know he's made it to the round of 8 of the GSL and gone down 3-0 to Squirtle earlier this year. He's gone deep in some other tournaments only to lose out disappointingly late in their event. So, here is a chance for him to redeem himself against the best foreigner, arguably, in the world. Entering this tournament, it was stacked. There was Nurchio, there was Scarlet, there was Stephano, there was Sen, who is also considered a foreigner because he's from Taiwan. So there were a lot of high-level foreign players in the BWC. Truly an excellent tournament. $100,000 goes to the winner. So this game, not particularly from the end of the tournament. I'm going to be bringing you a massive number of games from the BWC, so get ready to see every round, every group, everything. We are now seeing, however, a Forge Fast Expand here from a Liquid HerO. He's getting that cannon nice off at his wall. Our map is Daybreak, by the way. I didn't even introduce my players. We have EG Stephano, Blue Zerg, bottom right, Liquid HerO, Red Protoss, top left. So this is a Liquid versus EG match, classic NA rival teams, arguably the best 2 of the continent. Whenever they face off in a team week, it's a must-see match. Very exciting. Both have well-balanced lineups mixed with foreigners and Koreans alike. A lot of them have top players. Also in this tournament for EG was Suppi and Idra. Idra was also in this group with Stephano alongside the Korean Zerg from Brood War, HerO. And Suppi and Idra and Huck were the remaining EG players. I'm quite sure that HerO is the only Liquid member to be representing his team in the BWC. Now, finally, one Ling is able to bring down the natural pylon that was blocking Stephano's expansion. He just went all the way over the third and built a hatch and then came back to his natural, very common move. We've seen it a lot in PvZs on my channel. I know I brought you that Kapuk versus Johnny Rico game a couple of matches ago. I just felt like bringing you this exciting match. It's a game 3. This is from the final match. If you understand if you listen to my formatting, this GSL format, whatever I explained. One of these players, I didn't study all this, but one of these players comes from he has lost the winners match, and one of them has won the losers match. So both of them looking for a chance at redemption and a chance to advance. This game decides it all. The loser moves on. The loser moves on. What am I saying? The winner moves on. The loser eliminated. No chance at getting $100,000 for a grand prize. Something like $40,000 for a second place prize. That's insanity. It had been unseen. Unseen is not what I meant. It had been unparalleled in terms of prize pool. $100,000 is the combined prize pool for IPL 5, which is a massive overseas tournament taking place in a couple of weeks. And this was the first place prize alone in this massive event. I can't believe I said unseen before. My language is so off. I'm a grammar Nazi, as some people like to say. I am obsessed with speaking correctly and using very fluid vocabulary, so whenever I slip up, it's frustrating to me. I'm quite tired today, but I really wanted to bring you guys a commentary. It had been a week. Don't be too upset about this, as I have a long weekend this week. I had been very busy with school, a number of other factors that are currently absorbing a lot of my time. So this long weekend, I'll be sure to fire out a lot of BWC games. I wasn't able to watch too many, as the event was held in Shanghai, China, so the time zone difference meant that a lot of the streams aired mostly throughout the nighttime. For me, as I live in Canada, I have the Eastern Standard Time Zone as my reference for what time it is. So we do see HerO going for a nice Warp Prism. He got his Robo at his natural. Nothing too out of the ordinary for either player at this point. We saw an early spawning pool for Stephano, but he wasn't too aggressive. And he's now getting the Roach Warren with an Evo Chamber. So Stephano, of course, revolutionized the ZVP playstyle of mass Roach, 12-minute max out, 3 bases, 60 drones. I'm sure a lot of you have acquainted yourselves with that playstyle by now, whether you're a Zerg player or you've had the unfortunate experience of facing a Zerg who executes this well and just completely overruns you with force despite your Forge Fast expansion. We have 3 sentries here from HerO. It's likely he's going to load them all up. He does just that. We'll have to see what he decides to do with these. He's moving out with his 1-Stalker 1-Zealot, trying to poke a little bit with these 2 units. Stephano does not yet have his metabolic boost, but as soon as he does, he'd be able to get an easiest round off. HerO getting an Immortal now, and we'll have to see what he's able to do with this Warp Prism. Sometimes a Protoss player, if they can micro well, are able to drop their sentries in the main, force field off the main ramp, warp in units, and just slaughter the Zerg. I've seen Grubby execute this. He popularized the tactic, to my knowledge, and it can be completely game-changing. It can destroy the entirety of the Zerg's main base, cut off 1/3 of their economy, or whatever the fraction is, depending on how many bases they have, and ravage their tech, destroy the lair /hive /hatchery, destroy their Roach Warren, their Evos, anything that they have in their main is vulnerable. So Stephano knows this Warp Prism is on the map. He's getting his Glial Reconstitution for that Roach speed. He's getting his Missile Attacks level 1 for his Roaches, but he has to be prepared for this. His Lings have metabolic boost, and they are moving on creep, so that's an extremely fast movement speed for these Zerglings. But it's a matter of whether or not HerO will be able to pull this one off. I do not think it will be too effective, as he has a multitude of Lings here, 2 Roaches in his base, and 20 on the way, which would be completely devastating here to HerO if he invested too much in warping in units and then lost them all. So all these 20 Roaches popping out. Stephano at 140 population, over 136, needs to make a couple Overlords to compensate for the one he lost to HerO sentries. But ultimately, HerO has not been able to do too much. He's getting another Immortal out, chronoing that one. He has 2 total, a lot of sentries with ground weapons level 2 and his blink on the way. A lot of Protoss players have been killing Zergs with these pre-hive timings that aim to completely obliterate the Zerg with a lot of sentries and a lot of Immortals. This style, we've seen a lot with SK Telecom T1 Rain. A couple games of his I definitely want to bring you. I'm a huge fan of Rain's. He's such a talented player, especially against Zerg. Creator Prime, Startail Parting, especially. Parting is phenomenal against Zergs. He had this insane win rate before he dropped out of the GSL. Sadly, he lost to a couple of Zergs in his GSL group who must have studied his really popular style. That's the downside to having a widespread specific strategy against a certain race, because in the GSL it's all about studying your opponent, knowing what you're up against. So that's likely why he dropped out so harshly, but it all comes down to the force fields ultimately. So these godlike micro Protosses like Parting, like HerO, like Rain, like Creator, all those magnificent Protosses I've named, are generally able to execute the force fields well. We will have to see how HerO is able to do it, or whether or not he's able to do it in this game. He has a lot of Stalkers. His Blink is finished. Weapons level 2 shortly going to finish. He definitely wants to have that upgrade. Every upgrade counts. He'll have a bonus attack upgrade over his opponent. He'll have that 1 attack upgrade advantage, because Stephano's nowhere near getting his 1/1 for his 1 Carapace and his 1 melee attacks. HerO definitely farther down in population. We'll have to see our army size. 129 to 81. Worker supply dead even, but HerO is going to have to make his every unit count. Stephano losing a lot of Lings unnecessarily here. 2 Stalkers now going to blink back, and Stephano split up his force. I'm not sure if that's the brightest idea, but here's some decent force fields from HerO. A lot of his Immortals are vulnerable, however, the Roach is DPSing them down extremely quickly, And this is definitely the type of occasion where I should minimize the little menu here. Does the Warp Prism have anything in it? No. Drop down all those sentries and that one Stalker it had in there. Still a lot of roaches, but HerO looking good from that engage. So his Immortals, the Hardened Shields, mostly able to absorb the roach attacks, but he did lose a couple of them. We'll have to look at the units lost. Have Stephano behind. He lost 1,400 resources more than his opponent. Very nice engage there from HerO. I don't know. Is it necessarily a bright idea to blink back your Stalkers and leave your Immortals out? I guess so if you have very, very good Guardian Shield coverage, and if you have force fielded well enough that not all of their roaches are able to DPS down your Immortals. So as you may have been able to see, some of the roaches were unable to attack because they're cut off by the force field. So I said DPSing down like crazy, but the force fields ultimately did prevent the entirety of Stephano's forces from attacking. No. Again, I messed it up. They prevented a part of Stephano's forces from attacking. HerO now getting Hallucination. This game has officially become legendary. That is my favorite Protoss caster spell in StarCraft. I definitely am a fan of Force Field. Of course, strategically, Force Field can be... It generally is seen as the most essential ability for a Protoss player. Storm, very good. But Hallucination is just plain out awesome. It confuses your opponent. It can absorb some damage in a battle, which can completely turn the tide of said battle. And it's generally a spell that is sadly not used frequently enough. And now we do see two Colossi hallucinated here from HerO. He gets magnificent force fields off. Stephano has seen this. I'm quite sure he sees two Colossi. They're completely real to him. He's getting a Spire to react to this. So he has some Infestors on the field. I did not mention that to you guys. My apologies. He has several Infestors on the field. 8 total. Has he researched pathogen guys? Just want to check that real quickly. Yes, he has. So I even missed that. But he thinks there are Colossi on the way. He's getting his 2-2. HerO, meanwhile, getting his 3 weapons and his charge for his Zealots. But Stephano played right into the hands, is seeming to be playing right into the hands of HerO's Hallucination. As I was just talking about my love for that spell, HerO uses it magnificently. I already said magnificently this game. My language is failing me. Anyways, HerO now going to move out across the map with these 2 nice hallucinated... He hallucinated 2 again so brilliantly because he knows his opponent has seen 2 before, so he needs to make it feasible. He needs to say, well, I hallucinated 2 before, gotta keep them up and looking real. Let's look at Stephano's view. These Colossi are completely real. They have... Do they have the range? No, they have regular range. It seems like they have extended range. I guess with the extended thermalized Colossi, do have an insane range. But there are 9 Corruptors morphing in here from Stephano. That will occupy so much unnecessary supply here for a Zerg player. He's nowhere near Greater Spire. Still on Lair Tech. Getting Neural Parasite, also an extremely useful spell against Colossi. You Neural Parasite them, that could change the entire course of the battle. Computer lagging here for a second. Like I've said before, it likes to lag during insignificant moments. Then when the battle is monumental, my computer just decides, hey, I might as well tune in myself. A couple of good fungals going off there on HerO's Immortals and Zealots, but now it seems as though our Protoss getting a very good engage. Look at those force fields. Hallucinated Colossus dies, but these Corruptors otherwise completely useless. HerO may be able to take this one. He's forcing his opponent back. Stephano getting 50 Lings, but Lings will not do too well against this upgraded 3-0 Protoss army. Let's look at the stats of the Stalkers. They're able to do 13 damage regularly, 17 versus armor, but what it really comes down to is these Immortals here with 26 damage regularly, 65 damage versus armors. They completely shred roaches. There are even going to be Archons here, which should take down a lot of Lings with their powerful splash damage attack and bonus versus biological. Here's a nice engagement point from HerO. His force field's okay, but the fact is there are a lot of Corruptors on the field, completely unnecessary. Stephano has gotten a lot of spines. HerO does not want to get overrun here. He still has 4 Immortals on the field with those 3 weapons, like I said. 2 one-hitting roaches. These 3 Immortals, if they all fire 1 roach, they will kill it in 1 shot together. There's 1 Immortal dying, another one losing some shields, but the roaches are completely thinning out here for Stephano. He has these entirely unnecessary Corruptors. HerO is forcing him back. All of this supply has been wasted into the 9 Corruptors of Stephano. And ladies and gentlemen, I think HerO masterfully has masterfully prevailed over his opponent in this match. It's just looking great for him. Stephano has nothing special producing. He's only got 8 roaches. His hive is done, but broodlords will not matter very much. He has decent resources because his his Greater Spire's only beginning. He will not have broodlords out in time. Third base already established from HerO. Fourth on the way. He's moving up this ramp, completely set on winning this game. This nice little lamppost just shining some light on the Protoss armies, and the Spine Crawlers know who they're attacking, but HerO microing very well with his blink. This one Immortal is going to die with 26 kills. That, ladies and gentlemen, is why HerO captured this game. Those Immortals, those unnecessary Colossi, lovely use of hallucination. HerO, you have gained a new fan. I used to think of HerO as the disappointment Protoss. He has delivered in this match. Does not look at all like Stephano's going to be able to come out on top in this one, unless he has some miracle fungals or an extremely major micro slip-up is observed on HerO's part. It seems as though the way that our Korean Protoss is going, no such things will happen. He's blinking back perfectly. A lot of drones have died. Let's just look at the workers killed. 40 total for HerO. You cannot recover from that. Stephano pulling back. Tournament life on the line. So the world's best, previously considered the world's best foreigner, Stephano, looking to drop out of WCS Shanghai Global Finals in just only after the group stage. This infestation pit getting targeted down, 10 lanes and 1 broodlord, but I'm sorry, Stephano, as much as I do love your mass roach PvZ playstyle, ZVP playstyle. It's supposed to be ZVP, not PvZ when you're saying the race that you're talking about first. It's got to be the Z first. 1 broodlord will not save you though, Stephano, my good buddy. Il Satouri from France. Seems as though this will be inadequate. If this broodlord can slaughter the entire Protoss army and the HerO can let Stephano turtle up to 4 bases, then maybe he might be the win. But both broodlords getting targeted down fairly quickly, and there's Stephano. Congrats in all caps. He traditionally likes to say congrats instead of GG because he feels as though when a player is able to defeat him, they are quite skilled and deserve congratulations rather than GG. He says, well played there. Very well mannered from Stephano. HerO captures this game. Guys, I'll see you next time with another BWC game. I hope you like this cast. I sure enjoyed bringing it to you. So see you in a few days. Peace!